Alright, so in today's video we're taking a look at an item that is very useful for anybody who does video. It's 3-in-1 basically. So first a couple of images, you can take a look at that and then we'll get into the video. Alright, so as stated, we're taking a look at what I say the 3-in-1 because you have a ring light, you have a selfie stick option, and if you pop this open, you also have a tripod option. So pretty good overall. And what I really like about it is the fact that I can use this without using any of the other items as far as the actual selfie stick or phone retention mechanism, and just use it as a selfie ring light so I can shoot videos with the camera I'm using now, because you can see how dark it is right now on my face. Now if I had this on, it would look more like something like that. I mean, that's not the exact placement, but that's pretty close to where it would be placed. Alright, so let me turn that back off for a second. Alright, let me show you what's included right quick, and we'll talk a little bit more about this. So if you want to find out more about the specific links and different color temperatures and all that type information, check out the images that preceded the main portion of the video or the link below. I just want to give you kind of a quick overview so you kind of get a little bit of an idea of what to expect and how it operates. So I don't need it, but it's very convenient to have a little bag to store this in case you're mobile. I just use it at home. Not a lot of places to go these days with the situation of the world we're in at this moment in time. Here is basically just a little phone holder, so if you needed to use this as a tripod or as a ring, not a ring light, but as a tripod or a selfie stick, and you didn't want the ring light, you could actually just take this portion off, take this whole head off, and put this one in its place, and have the option there to use it if you wanted to. I probably will never use that, but it's kind of nice to have, I guess, that extra functionality. You also have a user manual or user guide in case there's any questions about operation. You have a cable so you can charge the actual ring light. Unfortunately, it is micro USB, not Type-C, but not everything's adopted Type-C cable, usage, which is fine. And you have about, I don't know exactly, I think it was like 6 foot 6 inches, a little over 6 feet. So that's really cool. And I'm not sure if you're supposed to or not, but you can actually plug this in, have the unit charging, and turn it on. The charging indicator goes off, so I don't know if it just automatically cuts the charging or if it's still charging, in the background, so to speak. Usually it's ideal to have devices off when you charge them, so I would say only in a pinch would you be using that. So I wouldn't really recommend it just because it's not typical. The only other thing included with this is this little adapter here, so you can see you have this piece here. So basically it just screws on like that. So you would actually attach this onto the actual tripod selfie stick portion, and then you could use this to attach, well, pretty much any camera that uses a standard type of mount, or action cameras, ideally GoPros and such, or similar. That's what it's kind of designed to be for. So then you have that functionality in this unit as well. So that's a nice little addition, little add-on. The box that it comes in looks really nice. Has details and everything about the device, so it actually looks really good. Some of them are very basic, very generic. So the other thing here is right here. I don't know if you can hear that. So that is a removable. You just kind of pop that out, and that's a removable Bluetooth basically a shutter button for your camera essentially. I have a Galaxy Note 9 which has the little stylus. That's built-in functionality for me, so I really don't need that portion, but it's kind of nice because not everybody has that option. You can just kind of set this up, back away, take your photographs, and use this Bluetooth. So it uses a coin cell battery, so you don't recharge that portion. You only recharge the actual ring light. So this comes out, as you can see, I believe it's somewhere like 31 inches or something like that. It's close to 3 feet, not quite. And then close this back down. If you open this portion here, you of course have your tripod type functionality. So you could have this sitting, you could have that sitting at a distance and walk back, use the Bluetooth shutter, and control the actual picture taking process, which is really convenient. And other than that, to me at least, the big part of the show is the ring light. Now you do have, of course, this has little rubber pieces on the inside, so that's going to be where you put your phone. So if you need to put your phone there, and you can rotate it so that it's like this or like that, and depending upon, of course, what you're using, how well that's going to work for you. It does sit out a little in front of the light, so your phone should stick in front of the light, which means you may block a little bit of the light depending upon the device, but you shouldn't have a major issue with compatibility because it doesn't have to fit within the constraints of this small area, the inner diameter of the light itself. So, and it collapses down so it doesn't really get in the way. On the back you can see where it looks like it's a AA rechargeable battery, and it does have screws, so I suppose if you needed to, you might be able to replace it in the future. I'm not going to open it up right now, I just don't have a need for it. You have, of course, the little thumb screw right here, and by doing that, you can fold it down, make it very portable, so it's actually very small. I'm going to go ahead and put it back up. I'm going to tighten it down. Now, for the main event, you have the ring light. So on this side right here is your charging port, and over here is your power and your mode button. So if you push and hold, it's going to turn it on. You push and hold, that turns it off. Pressing it while it's on, it's going to cycle through the different colors, and you're going to have a cool white, which is that bright, almost bluish white, and you're going to have the warm, which is sort of an orange-like look. And that's the one I prefer. And then there's multiple levels, I believe 3 in each one of those. I usually like the brightest orange or softer warm light, personally. And it has a memory, so whatever the last thing you leave it on, when you turn it back on, that's what it's going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and push and hold this button. Alright, so now we have that pretty intense, bright, warm light. Push it now. We change to the cool, so you can see the color shift. And now you can watch it ramp up in intensity. So there's 3 levels of the cool white. And then I believe this might be a little bit of a variation. And then we have the orange or warm. So this is the one I use. I like that warmer color tone, and I like the brighter, so it kind of knocks off a lot of the shadows. As you can see, if I had this set up and I was using this, basically something like that right there. But over to the side so it doesn't block it, but that gives you an idea so you can see. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I think it's just a really cool item to have. I love that it's rechargeable. I have been using another type of a ring light with some of my videos when I remember to do so, and I like that there is an option to use a ring light like that. It really does help with the quality of the video, but it requires me to plug it in, and that requires me to have the cable run across or plugged into something, and then I have to deal with that. And sometimes, depending upon where it's plugged in, it's hard to get to the controls, whereas this one's right on the actual ring light, and it's battery operated, so I can move it around. I don't have to worry about it getting caught on anything, and it has a very good range of different brightness levels and colors and such. So I guess there's 3 different modes and 3 different levels for a total of 9 different color options. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One of those is going to be the cool, one is going to be the warm, and the other I think is a slight combination of the two. So anyway, that's pretty much it. I think I've covered everything I can think of that's relevant. If you hold that down, you turn it off. Charging would be only a thing that I missed. Charging is probably in the neighborhood. I think it took me around 3 hours or so, roughly. Somewhere around there. It really depends on what you have it plugged into, because if you plug it into a computer USB port, laptop, what have you, it's going to be a much lower output. It's going to take a lot longer, but I think like 2.4 amp is probably the most typical, and I think you're looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of about 3 hours or so, and it's supposed to work for around 2 hours continuous. I usually just use it for videos, which I usually shoot all in one shot, not a lot of cuts in my videos, and they're usually about 10 minutes or so roughly for most. So this one might be a little longer, so I'm going to go ahead and cut that off now. Gives you an idea. Everything I think has been covered, including the battery now. So again, find out more, anything I didn't cover, as far as like the color temperatures, you know, the Kelvin and rating and all. If you want to know the exact, check out the link and the documentation provided in the images at the preceding portion of the video. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching.